Hello students, this is your course on blogging and tools. In this video on creating blog content, we're going to talk about managing blog metadata. Let's begin by understanding what is metadata. Although we have discussed this term in other courses like digital marketing and content marketing, this is sort of a refresher for you. Metadata is the data that describes all the other data on a blog site, which means that it is used for providing descriptive or technical information about a resource and is therefore used for information retrieval and dissemination by search engines, which means the idea of creating metadata and ensuring when you're creating content on your blog, ensuring that your metadata is properly filled, updated. The idea there is that the blog post which you have created after taking so many pains, after doing so much research, spending so much time and effort, the blog post which you have finally created is properly found, accessed, and indexed by the search engines that are going to take your blog to your target audience. Because if that is missing, a lot of the times you will find that despite having quality content on your website, on your blog, you are not able to achieve the desired amount of traffic. So to avoid that, to get organic traffic flowing to your blog post from the get-go, it's essential to pay attention to the metadata on your blog site. Rightly worded metadata can aid crawlers in indexing and ranking your blog. Therefore, it also contributes towards SEO, which is the search engine optimization of your blog site. As you can see in the example to the right side, the metadata in this case is the source name, which is the New York Times, the author's name, Brendan Donahoe, then what the title of the post is, which is Parade of Stars and Fans for Houston's Funeral. Then you have the brief excerpt about the blog post which has been written, and then there are some key information about the social performance of the blog post, which is in terms of the retweets or favorites that have happened. This is something which you can easily modulate or moderate in your blog site, and to do that there are some critical elements, metadata elements, which we have previously discussed when we were talking about the CMS dashboard. So I'll be quickly browsing through them as well here, but here the context is that you have to remember you're doing it to create legible, helpful, and focused metadata for every blog post. The title of the blog post, as I said, is an important information about the blog post, and therefore it helps a search engine crawler, to identify what the content is all about. So it must be carefully thought of and must be populated and must be written keeping the keywords or the key search phrases in mind. In fact, it also makes sense when we'll be talking about optimizing your blog in the next video. It also makes sense to include those keywords in the title itself, so that your metadata is powerful enough to communicate to your search engines as well as to your target readers what the content is all about. Then the headings which you are including in the rest of the post, if there are any headings or subheadings which you are including, any sections that you have made in the content, they are also important metadata points and should be carefully designed. Then if there is a categorization or tagging of the post done, that also contributes towards accumulation of metadata. So broadly speaking, there are 4 things which you have to keep in mind before you publish your blog post, which will ensure that its metadata is on point. The first one is an excerpt. Although your WordPress CMS tells you that this is optional, it always makes sense to have a short description about the blog post that you are publishing. And this is something which would be often shared on various social media platforms, and this is also something which would be visible on your search engine result page if your blog post will come up in a result option. So right underneath your title, this excerpt will be visible to your readers, potential target readers also, and based on what they read here, they can choose to then click on the link and land on your website. So it's important that you design an excerpt for your blog post before you publish it. Secondly, whatever image you are inserting in or any kind of media you are inserting in your blog post, you must remember to add an alternative text or an alt text, and write a caption underneath. The caption is to help your readers to understand the context of the media that you have put in your blog post. However, the alt text is there to help search engine crawlers understand what the media is all about and therefore index it better. Therefore, keeping both the reader and the search engine crawler in mind, you must remember to give proper caption and alt text to the images or any other kind of media that you insert in your blog post. Then there is a matter of defining a category. If you have identified a category, broad categories and subcategories on your blog, and every time you are creating a new blog post, you must remember to allocate a category to it so that your content management system can automatically sort it into that relevant category and makes it easy for your readers to find content on your blog which is pertaining to the category of their interest. Similarly, you can add new tags or existing important tags to your content, your blog post, every time you're creating a new blog post. Definitely there would be some basic tags which would be using for almost every blog post because they would be relevant to your particular blog niche. But whenever you will be getting into deeper topic discussions or a more niche, super niche kind of topic for a particular post, new tags can be added. These tags are very similar to the hashtags that you see on social media, and they are again helpful for readers to identify the context and find relevant information and relevant content when they are on your blog site. And they are also helpful for search engine crawlers to identify and sort and index your blog posts properly. Lastly, having a featured image for your blog post and giving it a caption which is usually related to the title of the post is important, and this is something which you must be checking before you are publishing your blog post. Keeping these things on track ensures that your blog post is ready to be published, and you have taken care of making the reading experience as favorable, as enjoyable for your target audience, and you have also made your blog post easily accessible and indexable by the search engine crawlers, thus moving towards what we call optimization. And that is what we'll be discussing in the next video, how you can optimize your blog posts. In addition to what we discussed about metadata, what more can you do to achieve that? Until then, thank you.